Hi, welcome back.
What's going on?
So, today we have a very interesting topic and we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about meditation.
You know that thing in the front, in that opening about experience? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That saying, I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I digressed. Go.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed
Sorry,
it.
Mr. Producer, but I had to get off target for a second.
So, when it comes to meditation, there's a lot of different opinions about it. And it's interesting because every different modality, every religion, anywhere from Christianity to Buddhism to, just all different types, they do different types of meditation. Prayer can be considered a meditation. And so the definition of meditation is a practice in which an individual uses techniques to train attention and awareness and detach from reflective, discursive thinking. So it's achieving a mentally clear and emotional calm and stable state.
That's the best line right there.
Yep. While not judging the meditation process itself.
That's the hardest line.
You got it.
That's the hard part.
It is.
So I know like one of the big things, and I'm just going to ask some questions here. How do you silence the noise in your head? Because I know that a lot of people say, I can't meditate because I can't shut it down.
It's not easy.
What's
No.
your experience with
I'll
that?
be honest with you. It's not easy. For me, my experience is, it's not easy, but after a while, you figure it out. You figure out that what I use is key. What I use is key phrases and key pictures. I work very well with visualization in my head. So for me, meditation, I don't like guided meditations. I will do them. I don't mind doing them, and I'm okay with them, but it's not my preference. My preference is leave me to be, and I will put myself into my own place, into my own reality, into my own realm, into my own situation. And then in there, I will reflect on my life. And anything that rises up to the top is what my meditation brought forward. And in doing so, it allows me to see the things that like the rest of us, I overlook or I don't see or I don't pay any attention to, because in our hustle and bustle of life, we're kind of focused on other things. So when you have a guided meditation, for me, when I have a guided meditation, it's almost like it's leading me to places, and that's good. I have no problem with that. But I prefer the beach. I prefer quietness. I prefer bringing familiarity, things that are familiar to me, books I've read, sayings in books that I've read, movies that I watch, lines in movies, all kinds of stuff like that, brings me and centers me. Basically what it does is it just grounds me and centers me to the place where I want to be. One of my techniques is I created a glass pyramid in my mind, and when I want peace and quiet, I'll open the glass pyramid door and go in there and close the door, and it's absolutely dead silence in there. And in that pyramid, I can meditate, I can talk to who I have to talk to, I can do what I have to do. And then upon leaving that place, I realize a very, very calm serenity that I have in me. That's one form of my
So
meditation.
silence is key for you.
Silence and nature. I need nature. I need to feel my hands on the ground. I need to feel my feet. That's why I like to meditate without shoes on and close to the ground, because I like to open the palms of my hands and put them on the ground and feel the energy coming up from the ground.
And I know that Sean has a different experience, especially when it comes to meditation and sound. So you like to experiment with the sound.
A little bit, and I agree on something Bob said, and like guided meditations, there's some that I really do not like. And it's most of the time the visualization ones. They're trying to take you to a place, and I don't like that. I have a very difficult time imagining the place they want me to imagine, and I struggle with that. So that's one of the reasons that I do enjoy the ones that have the binaural beats and the different frequencies, things like that, because they give me something to focus more acutely on. So instead of having just all of the random thoughts that are coming and cluttering, the binary beats and the frequencies give me a feel and a focal point.
Explain
And some
binary beats, if you don't mind.
Binary beats are when you have almost different frequencies coming into each ear of a headphone. So it helps to balance your mind, and it helps to initiate, or I hate to say produce, but it helps to encourage certain mind states like alpha waves, gamma, theta, delta, different. It helps you to get into those mind states.
So a little bit of
more.
a science almost to it,
Yeah,
right?
there is, because like, especially if you're going to create a meditation, you want a certain feel to that meditation. Well, that meditation may mean you want to start out in one place, you want to be in the middle in another place, and you want to be at the end in another place. So, you always watch out for some of the meditations that, well, I say always watch out. They've all been good in their own ways, but you want to watch for the meditations that are going to start maybe in an alpha and then go into a delta state for a large portion of the time, and maybe come out in an alpha state or a theta state or a gamma state. You got to play with what makes you feel the way you want to feel through it, or what is most helpful to
So
you.
you can
at the
experiment
time.
with different musics. That's why there's like Gregorian chant. That's why there's
Exactly. And you
shamanic
have-
chant, all that stuff.
And most of the time in the better meditations, you get a sense of those beats on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of hear that they're there, and you
Mhm.
can kind of feel that they're there, but maybe their majority of it is covered by the sound of the ocean, or maybe the majority is
So
the
they're overlaid.
Gregorian.
So it's like overlaid.
So
it's
you
like,
actually have an
Birds.
overlay
Yeah.
of a music or a
Oh.
nature or something of that. That's something that's of interest that keeps, and you hear the birds.
Yeah.
It's something that keeps
Yeah.
you almost entertained or almost soothed
Yeah.
while you listen to those binary beats. But I do like the guided for different purposes. Like I enjoy the body scan guided. I enjoy the relaxation guided. The things that are guiding me maybe to a feeling versus you're on a beach, you're staring at the beach, and now the birds are after you. I don't enjoy those kind of things.
You always got to make
The
it
birds are
sound-
after me.
The
You hear the
are not
birds in the
after you.
background. They
They're
might be
not
after me
you.
now. They sound mischievous.
They're not after you, the
But
birds.
the visualization,
Jesus Christ.
gets me. I don't enjoy that usually, or I can't.
Do you
build
not
that in my
enjoy it?
head.
Well, you said you don't enjoy it because they're taking you to a place that you may not want to be. So you'd rather create the event and the place that you want to be, is what you're saying, right?
Well, usually, like in yes and no.
Okay.
But I have a hard time visualizing things that I've not been to based on someone else's thoughts.
Okay.
You're on a beach. The water is green. Well, I already made it blue because you told me I was on a beach.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like I have to have a corrective action in my mind.
Mhm.
I tend, my brain goes too fast sometimes, and I tend to get ahead of the visualization, and then it's always like, no, I'm trying to correct it in the visualization, and that never works.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
then I've
then you're
just
all caught
wasted
up.
my time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
another process I do that's very helpful to me is I'll find the ones with the beats that I like, and maybe I'll find something that's a guided to a feeling, a guided to a relax. I'll listen to it, and if I can't maintain my focus,
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen to it the whole way through, and then I have a better understanding of what to expect on the next round. And I'll take a break for a half hour and do it again because it was not of value to me because my head was going too many places. I was just not in the right mind state yet. But yet it brought me down enough that I can relax for a little bit and come back to it and now have a very good meditation. So I have a lot of challenges with the racing thoughts constantly. And I hate to say it affects my meditation because one of the things that I've always heard about it is, well, if it's coming up in your mind, it's stuff you got to deal with. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I've just got too many things to deal with. So maybe getting them out in one meditation, relaxing and doing another will help me to get there. And, especially if it's any kind of guided, I don't want to get ahead of the guide.
Let me just
If I get ahead of the guide, it always causes trouble.
if I can ask him, I don't mean to take. I don't mean to take
No,
this
go
spot
ahead.
from you. Let me ask you a question. So technically, truthfully, how long have you been doing it seriously like that?
It's hard to say because I started doing meditation when I've always had sleep problems since I was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't bother me as much when I was younger.
Yeah.
I would get an hour of sleep and I'd be like, okay, let's go get some work done.
Yeah.
And then, yep, we are
Yeah.
going out tonight.
Yeah.
I was young. I was able to go do that. And the older I started to get, the more it was difficult the next day after I wouldn't sleep because the sleep problem stayed. But the age kind of started catching up with that. And then, I would have a night of no sleep and I would just feel horrible.
But when did you get
So-
serious? Like when did like this? What you're doing
Probably
now,
10 different times in my life.
10 different times.
So as I've done it, it's helped. Things kind of
Because
get
it
better.
took me forever. I'm not
Yes.
going to lie. I mean, I've been doing this, like I said, for at least 50 years. And it's only in the last maybe 10 or 15 years that I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
able to. And what you said, Betty, was how do you clear your mind?
Yeah.
That's because before that, I could never clear. I was always static. There was always
Yes.
exactly. See what you're saying. There was always that pile of stuff that had to
Mhm.
be done. And sort of when you meditate, it all rises to the top, and it's like, I can't deal with all this stuff. So,
Yeah.
so what works for me is I pick one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, okay, listen, this meditation I want to focus on being better for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, you really have to get rid of all the static. It has to be your mind has to be. You have to silence your mind, quiet your mind out.
I personally enjoy the ones that are kind of giving you a rundown of your body, and then they start pointing out where you're tense. Like, okay, right now focus on your toes, and now relax your toes, and you're like, oh
Yep.
my goodness, I did not realize that I was like this, and now I focused and I did that. Okay, now go ahead and focus on your calves and relax your calves, relax your thighs, relax. And you're just like, wow, I didn't even know that I was tense.
Mm-hmm.
And then even up to when they get up to your face, you're just always making an expression.
Wow, my jaw is tense.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, let that go. And that kind of brings me to a realization of like, that doesn't give me time to think of anything else because they're asking me to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're asking me to do something, I can focus on that more than I got to do the laundry. Oh, what time should I make dinner? What should I make for dinner? Where should I go? Did I put gas in my car? Like I'm always like thinking like that.
Yeah.
But now that you're asking me to do something, I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. So I'm focusing on that.
So you
and that
like the
helps
guided
me.
ones, is what you're saying. You like the guided ones.
Sometimes,
Mhm.
sometimes the guided ones. Also, I have the same problem as Sean because they'll say, "Imagine that you're in a field," and I'm thinking already, "Oh, it's a green field with flowers," and they're saying, "Okay, now it's actually a brown field with sunlight coming through," and I'm like, "Oh, hold
or
on,
you're in a forest.
reset.
Mhm.
That's not what I was thinking."
Right.
Walking into a chasm.
Right. Or like sometimes I'm like ahead of it. Like they're saying,
No
okay, you're
chasm.
walking towards a door. I already got to the door. I opened the door. Should I close the door and come back?
I'm standing inside.
Like,
I'm standing
what do I
inside, and they
do?
go, "Open the door now."
But-
Wait a minute.
Close the door. Close the door.
But that's exactly what you're saying. That's not your mind being quiet. That's exactly
No.
what they're saying. Is that you're racing ahead because you're anticipating what he's going to say,
Right.
Or what the person's going to say. Because in fact, your mind is not rested and quiet.
No.
The guided meditations, I will say, they're great because people can't get there
Yeah.
quickly.
Yes.
Mhm.
And guided meditations, they can be a great shortcut. But just like you're saying, if you don't listen to it first, then you get ahead of it.
Right.
And
Yes.
now if you listen to it again later, now you know what to expect. Okay, we're going to build a beach. There's going to be some seashells. Surprise, the water's green. I don't see green water a lot. I see blue water often, but today it's green, and I know it's going to be green, and I can start building
Mhm.
the image they want to build, and I'm almost ahead of the game without having to get ahead of the game
You
and
can't
correct.
study for the test though.
Yeah, but
It's
Like,
helpful.
it's
It is
like-
helpful.
but
though.
that's
yeah.
why. That's
it's like
why
an open book test what he's doing,
Well,
and
that's-
it's like
Yeah.
I cheat.
so.
Well-
I did one recently that I really enjoyed, which, like I said, it was the ones that focus on you doing physical stuff, and this one was about releasing. And the way that this person that was doing the meditation was saying, okay, go ahead and tense up your hands, like tense them real, hold it tight, 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 and then now let go.
Mhm.
That's the feeling of release.
Mhm.
So now I started thinking like internally, that's what it should feel like. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that makes sense. And he's like, now tense up your whole body, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Now release. What does that feel like? That is what release is.
But you have to understand something too, and this is my opinion only. You
Mhm.
have a different view of things.
Yeah.
You don't see it
Mhm.
like a lot of other people see it, and I
Yeah.
know because I've talked to a lot of other people that I've been in meditations. You have more of a drive to get there,
Mhm.
and it shows in what
Sometimes
you're doing.
there's a cost for that.
Well, but it shows in the way you know how aggressive you are with trying to figure out what it is. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's interesting.
And just trying different ones. So this is something that we are going to be sharing with our followers. We are creating different types of guided meditation. We're going to do female voice. We're going to do male voice because I think everybody connects to it
Mhm.
differently. We're going to do ones where you're picturing certain things, and we're going to guide you to that if that's what works for you. We're also going to be doing the ones that work for me, which are the tensing of the body or thinking about the parts that we need to relax and focus on those. And then just quiet too. There's going to be, music that we are composing and putting together with these different binary beats. And when I say we, I mean him. But
No, you said we right. You're right.
I just listen to it and I go, I don't like that part. Oh, that part's a little bit too
But
weird
the funny
for me.
thing,
Yeah.
thing about it is what's interesting to me is more of a technical aspect that you guys have, as
Mhm.
opposed to I have a kind of nonchalant like, yeah, that music's good. I like it. I don't know
Right.
why I like it. I just like it.
I'm hoping as part of this experiment, we'll see that the technical side of it will help people to launch into where you want to take them.
Right. No, I understand.
So I think that'll be amazing. And
That's why I like
and
it.
quite honestly, I would love nothing more than to see you build a series of them about how to build your pyramid.
Yeah.
That's my pyramid's my pyramid.
Yeah,
You
that'd
can
be
Make it
you
a
can do
box.
Yeah, you can
We'll do
it.
one for somebody's box.
You can do it. You can do whatever you want. You can use a pyramid too.
like
It's interesting.
a spear.
Listen,
I don't know.
the whole thing behind all this, in my opinion, and what works for me, and I'll just end it with, I'm going to end my segment with this, is that, and I've told you this before, you have to believe what you're doing. If you do not believe what you're doing, it'll never work. If you don't believe,
You'll only work at the level you believe it.
that's it. And if you don't believe it, and if you don't really put it and wait a minute, weave it into your life and make it a part of weaving into your life, like weave it in your material, your realistic material in life. It doesn't. For me, it doesn't work. So, how you meditate, how you take this, how you do stuff with this is not only important to how you do it, but how you feel when you're doing it.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is about being present. And that is, I mean, and if you really look into differences, and ever since we started this journey, I've been looking into different people, different preachings, different everything. And I was telling Sean today when I was watching one, which was actually a Christian one. It was a Christian preacher. And they were talking about, stop thinking. Like, be present now. And it's funny because if you look at the Buddhists, they're also saying, stop thinking, silence the mind. And if you're looking at someone, they're all they're all saying the same thing, just
Different ways.
in their faith base.
And they're right in their faith base, exactly.
And that's one of the cool things I think we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to, because all of us have different experiences. All of us believe more in some modalities than others. And we're going to be able to take and share what we understand about possibly each modality or different modalities and different intentions in meditations. And we're going to be able to share them with everybody. We're going to be able to get everybody to come back and tell us, hey, I really enjoyed this one. Hey, I really enjoyed this one. Hey, this one seems to work for me. This one touched me. This one took me somewhere.
Or suggestions.
Or tell us they're garbage, in which case then I'll blame Bob and we'll move on.
Yeah, that's fine. Comment on this segment.
Tell us all about it.
Tell us what you think. Tell us how you
Tell us what you're interested in, what you look for. What kind of meditations do you do? What kind of meditations do you enjoy? Let's see what we can create some.
Tell us who you like better.
Right.
Yeah.
Which one of us?
We're going to be all three of us. So okay.
No, but this, like I
it'll
said,
work.
it's interesting anyway.
I think that's going to be something that different people are going to connect in different ways. It's like ice cream, Everybody's got their flavor. So let us know what your flavor is. Drop it in the comments if there's things that you want us to go through and see if we can come up with different meditations that'll help you and others, because that's our goal, is just to help each other. And, drop it in the comments and we will definitely try to do something. Come up with something that works for you. But definitely we'll be sharing.
I think we're going to be able to add some
stuff.
hypnosis in here pretty soon, too.
Oh, no.
I'm going to hypnotize you,
Can't
Bob.
be hypnotized. They tried
Everybody have a wonderful evening.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.